So, guys, today I am discussing the season finale or series finale of Scream Queens, as well as season 1 as a whole. I'll be talking about the actors, what I didn't like about the series, and what I did like about the series, but I would like to discuss the finale in a little bit of depth, but not like huge depth. But if you have not seen the season finale of Scream Queens, if you're not caught up on Scream Queens, if anything, if you don't watch Scream Queens, I would suggest that you don't watch this video because I will have major spoilers, as well as who the Red Devil Killers were and such. So let's get started. Don't say I didn't warn you about spoilers, because I did. So we're gonna talk about the finale. I really didn't think it needed to be 2 hours long. They could have made it an hour and a half, and I would be pleasantly surprised with that. So let's get started on what I didn't like about this series or season finale, and that was the ending in general. It was too predictable, and who the Red Devil Killer was too predictable. I mean, I guessed it was Hester whenever we knew that the other one was Boone, because who else has dark hair on that show besides Lea Michele? Lea Michele. I'll tell you the answer right now. Not a lot of people do. So I thought it was either going to be Mellie Dorcas, because the title was Dorcas, and I thought that would throw me off, but I'm just over here like, it would be way too predictable if it was Dorcas. It would be way too obvious, and I thought it would be the same way if they made Hester the Red Devil, but hey, whatever, it's Ryan Murphy's show and he can make whoever he wants a killer. I just thought it was way too obvious that it was Hester. I mean, come on, you can't be that strange without something being up with you. I say. So it had to be Hester, and it was just okay. That was anticlimactic. I would rather they just pulled a Pretty Little Liars out of the ass. For the reveal and made it like another guy or girl, and it was just like, I think that would have been more shocking than it being Hester. I mean, if you watched my theories thing, I really wanted it to be either Grace or Chanel, because they seem like the two less likely to be the Red Devil Killers. But you know, whatever. It's alright. It's not that I don't have anything against Lea Michele as Hester or Hester in general. It was way too predictable. I mean, she was the strange and quiet one. She was obsessed with Chanel and Kappa Tau, a little too obsessed, I might say. So it was more of a, it's way too obvious. As well as, who murdered Gigi? Did she murder Gigi, or did Pete murder Gigi? Because we never got the answer to that. Did anyone else remember getting the answer who killed Gigi? I mean, I really wanted to give Lea Michele the benefit of the doubt. That, and, okay, if the Red Devil Killer was Lea Michele, then, oh wait, never mind. I think it was Pete who was in the mall with them. And shot a crossbow in Chanel's back. I think that was revealed. As well as, we got to know that Pete was also involved in the Red Devil killings, because him and Hester were in on it together, and I'm just all like, I really thought it would be better if he was, it would be, like, a little bit more better if he was the one who poured acid into Melanie Dorcas's spray tanning thing, because that would have made sense. I don't know why Lea Michele Hester would have done that. I mean, come on, you were planning on getting rid of Kappa Tau to begin with. I mean, it didn't make sense. A lot of her reasonings didn't make sense. And don't get me started on the whole fucking pathetic lie. Okay, so I have never seen a police force that is so fucking stupid. stupid in my life. I love Denise Henfield, but that story had holes all over it. Like, all over. And if you're gonna arrest, like, the three Chanels, don't you think you should arrest Hester as well? I mean, she was a part of the Chanels for a while, and she had to be a part. She had to know something about it, and she's an accomplice to murder still. So if Lea Michele knew about all the killings, why didn't you arrest her either? I would have made a plea. It's like, hey, she knew we were killing people. Why doesn't she get arrested? I mean, that's an accomplice and an accessory to murder. But no. Denise is just like, But, can we talk for a second how fucking hilarious it was that Denise had strippers for policemen and they're in their little stripper getups? I swear, it's more. I think that was the best part of the second episode, was seeing the strippers chase after the Chanels. That was pretty funny. That got me to like the second episode a little bit more, as well as the ending. Got a little bit thing. What absolutely ruined the episode for me was the way Lea Michele got all the Chanels in prison. I mean, come on. Yeah, sure. Chanel number 1, Chanel Oberlin, Emma Roberts' character. That's pretty obvious that bitch is gonna go to jail for half of the shit she did. I mean, she tried to kill Dorcas with a pair of scissors. She shoved Miss Bean's face in the deep fryer. Deep fryer is a joke. I mean, it's clear that this girl has some psychological issues, so of course she's gonna be guilty of murder. I don't know why she didn't just say Chanel was a Red Devil killer. Why did she have to say Chanel number 5 was a Red Devil killer? So that was pretty interesting that she picked, out of everyone she picked, she could have picked Chanel number 3 because she was a serial killer's daughter. But, Chanel number 5, I think that's a little bit of a stretch for me. And her parents just so easily getting paid off by Hester to lie and say their daughter was adopted, and quite frankly, she was a letdown and a drag. I mean, can anyone say worst parents in the world? They actually made me. For all of you who know how much I hate Lily Salvatore from the Vampire Diaries, they made her seem like a sane mother. And that's saying a lot. Like, a really lot. That's saying a lot because I hate Lily, and for people who have seen the Vampire Diaries last week, were you pleased with the ending? Because I knew I was. But, okay, so back to the show. It was really stupid. I mean, the fathers between the letters between Chanel number 3 and her father, that was a pretty good touch. That one was the smartest part of the plan, in my opinion. That's why I thought blaming it on Chanel number 3 would have been a little bit better than Chanel number 5. Because obviously Chanel number 5 isn't smart enough to actually go through with half these killings, and that's something that really irked me about that. But okay, the next one. Coming up next, the beginning of this episode was really interesting. I liked the fight between Grace and Pete, and Pete's death was a little bit well-deserving. I mean, I knew there was something up with him. I knew he was like a perv or something. So I just knew that he was gonna be a part of it. Because the nice guys always seem to be the psychos in the stories. So, that... well, let's see. What else? This is a blur. I like the whole Melanie Dorcas visit. And the whole stabbing with the scissors and stuff. What I didn't like about this episode, that there was no interaction between the Dean and Chanel Oberlin. I mean, they are common enemies. And she just tried to kill her in the last episode. So I'm over here just thinking about it and going like, okay, so why wasn't there a little bit of a nice wrap up to their enemy thing? They just left a lot on the table, and I don't know if, I think this episode is what's gonna ruin having a season 2 because it was so obvious, and it was kind of a little bit boring in my opinion. I was just checking my watch and saying, okay, when's this episode gonna be over? Because in the beginning of the second episode, we already see that Hester is Red Devil, which I wanted more of a suspenseful reveal than her just saying, oh, I got away with murder, and this is how I did it. I'm all like, okay, thanks for the big, huge spoiler. Why the fuck should I watch the rest of the episode? But okay, so I watched the rest of the episode, don't worry. And, that was fun. As well as, okay. So let's get to the second episode, because the first one didn't really have any monumental things that I cared about a lot. Pete already knew this whole time that Boone and Hester were the killers, but he didn't tell anyone anything. I'm just over here like, okay, kind of psychotic, whatever. Oh, can we just get past the fact that Dean Munch and Grace's dad are now together? Can we see how monumentally disturbing that was? But oh well, whatever. You like who you like, and then they have sex, which is a really awkward part of this episode. I'm like, I hope that does not show that, because I would probably kind of hurl a little bit, to be honest. Other parts of this episode. So let's get on to after all the Chanels are arrested. Like I said, this getting arrested by the strippers was funny. Chanel just grabbing on to the stairs and saying, "You'll never take me alive, bitches." That was funny. Oh, I love the interview, like whenever Chanel's getting harassed by the media, and she just like turns around and says, "Yes, I have something to tell all of you. You can all go suck it." I'm like, I just loved it, because it seemed like something that I would say personally. So it was funny. I liked that part. And then we have the whole getting arrested, and then we have the whole mural, and I'm just like, oh, Lea Michele working on the mural about almost everyone her brother killed, because we find out that she was more of the brains of the operation. She didn't really actually kill people as much as Boone did. And can we discuss the fact how Boone was actually not gay? Because Lea Michele said that was more his persona for not sticking out. As well as the fact that Lea Michele literally took a neck brace from a mental institution patient because she grew up in the asylum with Gigi and Boone. And can we just talk about how fake her transcripts were, and Dean Munch just literally just accepting this because of disability that she had? I'm just over here like, oh my god, that was so stupid. But, so whatever. I'm just over here like, Dean Munch cannot be that fucking stupid. She must have done something. And then I really had to applaud Dean Munch for the ending, because she was gonna go to the police and she was gonna tell him, I'm gonna tell him everything you did. And then Lea Michele and Hester just gets in her face and goes, do that and I'll tell them that you killed your husband and other people and yada yada yada. And I'm just over here like, oh my god, such a diva. But then they're cool, and then it's like, alright, okay, bye. And I'm just over here like, okay, that's kind of funny. But at the same time, why? Oh, why does that have to happen? But as for the ending with all the Chanels in a mental institution, I love the fact that they had a not guilty verdict until Chanel actually stood up and said something. And I just loved how she randomly just laughed at the fact what her Chanel No. 5's real name was. I'm like, I'm sorry. She's like, I'm sorry, I keep on forgetting what your last name is, and it's just so funny. But I'm just like, huh, that's funny. And then it's like, all these people are fat and ugly and unattractive. Obviously, you need more attractive jury and yada yada yada. And then the jury member just like switched her not guilty verdict to a guilty one. And they got sentenced to a mental institution where Chanel and the other Chanels were actually pretty happy. happy Sagas, everyone got a good ending. And then the Red Devil Killer is now in the asylum where Emma Roberts is at, Chanel number 1 is at. So I guess that it wasn't enough of a cliffhanger to actually get me to care about the second season, but if there is a second season, I will watch it. So that was it for my review of first part of the season, and now I will be doing the review of the cast as a whole. My favorite episode, I would have to say, favorite episode. The fourth and fifth one were actually fourth. The third and fourth one were my favorites, and the worst episode has gotta be the second episode in the series. It's just like, it's a series of the whole. I'll discuss what I thought at the ending. But I want to get through a little bit of what I thought of the cast. So first up, we have Emma Roberts as Chanel Oberlin. Emma Roberts was pretty much my favorite part of this whole show. She could play Psycho really well, and it wouldn't have surprised me if she was the Red Devil Killer, but like they said, she wasn't. So that kind of disappointed me a little bit. And then we have Skylar Samuels as Grace. And I'm just over here going like, Grace at times got on my fucking nerves, and I was on the fence about her a lot. And then let's get down to Hester. I was really disappointed that she was villain in this, but Lea Michele is pretty good at acting like a psycho. She actually got me to believe it, but whatever. And then we have Glenn Powell as Chad Rodwell, and Chad was such a fucking annoying person that I couldn't stand it. We have Diego Boneta as Pete, and Pete, I knew he was gonna be a psycho, so whatever. We have Abigail Breslin as Chanel number 5, and Chanel number 5, while annoying, I did enjoy her part of the series. So then we have Keke Palmer as Zayde Williams, which is my second favorite character in this episode. Can we just get back to the whole friendship thing between Zayde and Chanel number 1? I mean, I thought they were going to have a great friendship until the second part of this. Then we have Oliver Hudson as Wes, Grace's dad. I really thought he was a psycho a little bit. But yeah. And then we have, I'm gonna butcher his name, Nazim Padard as Gigi. I really enjoyed Gigi, even when she was a psycho. I enjoyed her, and it made me sad that she died. Didn't care enough about Earl Grey, actually. To actually care, you know. Chanel number 3, I liked Billie Lourd's acting. Jamie Lee Curtis is another one of my favorite characters in this, and she plays Dean Munch. Nazi Nash is Denise Enfield. I love me some Denise Enfield. She was so funny. Jennifer the Candle Eater, who's played by Breezy as Lynn. I didn't care for her. Whoever Sam. Oh wait, Jenna Han, who plays Sam, some of you know as Predatory Les. I was sad that she died. I really was. Then we have Ariana Grande as Chanel number 2. And I really didn't care for Ariana Grande. And then we have Nick Jonas as Boone. And I actually really liked Nick Jonas. And that's all that let's see. Let me see if I actually care enough to go into detail about any of these other people. Okay, so not really. So that's what I thought of the cast as a whole. Now, season 1 as a whole, I really enjoyed Scream Queens. I was a little disappointed in the last episode. As for me, Scream Queens started off as not really. It was funny in some parts. It didn't get really interesting until the middle. When we were in the middle, all the episodes in the middle were good, and then it just fell flat at the end for me. And for me, the last 3 episodes were probably the worst. the worst besides the second one. And it really irks me because it was really going on strong, and then it just crashed and burned for me. But if there was a season 2, will I watch it? Yes. So, what did you guys think of Scream Queen season finale? Did you hate it? What do you think of season 1? Did you love it? Comment down below and let me know. And I will see you probably on Thursday to review the Vampire Diaries winter finale. Because I've been really bad at updating my reviews for the Vampire Diaries lately. Busy, as one might say. But thanks you guys for watching. Bye!